Hey guys, if you bought AMC at a very high price given where we stand right now, not a high price given where we are going, all right? Because if you bought on the 50s, on the 60s, definitely on the 70s, I have something I want to share with you right now from a technical aspect of this price action on this stock, which I believe is going to give you a little bit of, not a little bit, a bunch a bunch of hope in the next coming weeks, potentially days. I don't know, depending on what is going to happen in the market, especially as we look into the volume and the short squeeze that is being signaled every single place in this stock. Now, remember that on Sunday we posted a video and we were talking about mistakes, the biggest mistake that people will fall into as we get into this week. And I do believe this is one of the first tests, because if you look at the stock price as of today, it's been we dropped 6.3%, which absolutely makes no sense, but we've been here for the last 2 years, and this doesn't surprise us anymore, right? Now, this is one of the tests because this is exactly what happened last week. Because the price went down here, and people thought, the price went down here, right? We went from the 20s to the 17, and people thought, well, maybe I need to sell here because it's gonna go back down, further, and I'm gonna buy back. But boom, they completely missed on this huge run. And that was the first test on this week that we're seeing now after the huge run. It jumped right out of the gate, but again, close 6% down. Now, if you look at this technical thing that I'm going to share with you just in a moment, plus something else that may be coming as we have a big volatility day tomorrow and going into the end of this week, I do believe there are high chances of this being a correlation of good things for a major rally coming. Look, this is from a technical standpoint, all right, it's for the techies, the technical chart readers, but I'm going to try to simplify this as much as possible, all right, because I'm not claiming to be a technical guy, but I do a little bit understand a little bit of these things. Now, this is a chart, all right, this is a graph of the AMC price for, I think, the last 2 years or so, all right. Now, you can see that what happened in January 2021. What happened in January 2021 is almost on the cusp of happening again as we stand right now. So what the heck happened in January 2021? Well, you look, there are these yellow lines and green lines and red lines, which we call moving averages, all right? We have the 50 moving average, the 200 moving average, the 100 moving average, etc., etc. A moving average is pretty much as simple as I can kind of, translate it to you guys, is a line kind of signaling or, translating the average price of the stock as we move into the days, all right? So it's pretty much a way of measuring what is the average price as the days are passing by on the stock and on the trading sessions, all right? So it's what we call the golden cross. The golden cross is when one of these lines, the 200 moving average and the 50 moving average, are crossing each other, which signals a major move ahead, a big rally. And this is precisely what happened in January 2021. But the good thing and the very, very interesting thing about this is the last time this happened was, of course, January, and we are just about to have another golden cross being happening, all right? Because if you look since then, we didn't have all of these three lines, the yellow, the green, and the red crossing each other as we did here. Now, if I go back here in a most simplistic chart and I go back to January 2021, you will see that January 2021, look, the stock went from $2 all the way to 70. That was on the exact same month, right? I don't know what's going on with my stock, but you can see exactly what I'm talking about here. So January 2021, the stock went from this with around $2 and something, and that's when we had the short squeeze, the first or the second inning, the second inning of the short squeeze. We went from 2 and then 8, and then from 8 to 15, and then boom, from 15 all the way up to 70. That was what happened in January 2021. But it was kind of previewed. It was one of the prerequisites from a technical chart standpoint was these 3 lines or these 2 lines, the moving averages crossing, which is what we call a golden cross. All right. You can see here on Investopedia the definition of a golden cross. A golden cross is a technical chart pattern indicating the potential for a major rally. The golden cross appears on a chart when the stock's short-term moving average crosses above its long-term moving average. All right. Now, something besides this chart that I'm looking at that is telling me that we may not be, there are high chances of this happening because technical analysis doesn't work 100% of the time. It's just a preview of what happened in the past in order to kind of predict what's going to happen in the future. But I'm looking also at this from Market Watch. A surging stock market is on the verge of signaling a huge move. I'm looking at this and I'm looking at this from a technical, and I'm like, okay, based on my experience with investing and trading, technical chart and a technical analysis is always complemented by something happening on the fundamental side of things, either in the economy, either in the market, either in something. And right now, as we stand as August 9, we have something major coming up tomorrow, the CPI reading for the month of July. And Brazil, China, other countries have already seen a downtrend, a significant downtrend from CPI data, meaning inflation might be definitely starting to go back down. Remember, this year, inflation is the number one issue across all the board for investors and the stock market. That's why I'm expecting if the CPI number we're getting tomorrow is better than expected, even if it doesn't match the expectations, if we see numbers coming down from 9% to 8% or 8.5%, it will give some sort of relief to the market that as we get into August, September, and definitely the end of this year, we might see better things coming from inflation cooling down, which will be a huge catalyst for the market. So when I join that with this death cross potentially in the cusp of happening, things look good. That's why I'm saying prepare your checkbook, especially if you bought at highs, because we have a high chance or high likelihood for this to happen again.